Hey everyone, and welcome to the 150k subscribers Q&A video. I did a Q&A video when I reached 50,000 subscribers. We're now 100,000 more, so it was bloody time to do another one. So I asked you to send in some questions for me, and several questions came in about Lego, about my private life, so I'm gonna reply to those questions in this video. I also took the opportunity to work on my green screen skills, so I throw some nice backgrounds in this video as well. So let's start with the first question. So the first question is from Abel de Goeder, and probably a Dutch or Flemish guy, seeing his name. When did your passion for Lego and Lego trains start? And also, do you remember what your first Lego set was? Merry Christmas. Well, Merry Christmas to you too. I'm a bit late, but I get back to that, why that is the case. COVID, busy, stuff like that. So my passion, I don't know, I think it started when, like every other kid, you get some Lego sets from your parents and you play with it and you start building things. I think what fueled my passion even more, and also the Lego train part, is when I got my Lego train for my 6th birthday. It was 1985 and I got the 7727 steam locomotive, 12 volt steam locomotive set for my birthday. And I played a lot with the thing. When I was playing with Lego, it just kept on running loops. I just had a small loop, not very big, just a small loops, like, I don't know, in the middle a few straights, and that's it. So, but I was so happy with the train, and when I grew up I started to use it also to mechanize my factories that I built and stuff like that. So yeah, I think that was the moment that actually fueled my passion for Lego and Lego trains the most. And my first Lego set was, I can't remember exactly, but probably it was a small police car. I'll put a picture and a set number in the video, because I can't remember right now. I have to look it up in the Lego database. So this question is from, I have to zoom in, what a name. Meri Norsu 122, no? Meri Norsu 112. I hope I said it correctly. Will you do World War II or World War I stuff? No, I don't think so. I had once the idea of building 2 war trains with tanks on them and stuff like that, and they encounter each other, and they get out of the train and just start to drink coffee, something like that. You know, you get, in the beginning of the video, you get the idea that they're going to war and fight against each other, and then they're just drinking a cup of coffee. I had that idea. I never made it into a video. I don't know why, because I didn't have the kind of bricks for that. I don't have any tanks or other war stuff. So no, I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna leave that to you have certain channels that are really specialized in this thing, and I can't even get near the level, that the quality that they're doing. So no, I'm not going to do any World War stuff. Though I'm very interested in the subject itself. I always like to watch the documentaries about the subject, but for Lego wise, no, I'm not gonna do any stuff like that. So the third question is from IDC Boss 12. How did you get a lot of subscribers? So that's a difficult question to answer. I think it has to do with luck and the time that I got into YouTube. Let me start with, when I started with YouTube, it was, I don't know, 2011, 2012. Things were different back then. If you had a good video and you had a good title, good description and good tags, the algorithm of YouTube, which recommends the videos for you to watch, will pick that video up and it will recommend it to other people. That's why my old videos have I don't know, like millions of views. Like the first Lego train automation video I did, it has now, I don't know, 11 million views. well, if you look at the quality, it's not that good, you know. I wouldn't make a video like that now. So back then it was more simple, and it had two reasons. That was the algorithm was more simple, and there were less people on YouTube making videos. So less competition, if you want to put it like that. But also the viewing behavior of people has changed during the time. And you see that back then no one was actually vlogging. Maybe you had like Casey Neistat or something like that, you know. He was vlogging, maybe, I don't know if it was already back then, but I believe so. But other people weren't doing that. So the algorithm was different than it is now. Because now the YouTube algorithm prefers vlog videos, and it has a few reasons, which I cannot go into right now because it will be too detailed for this video. But if you wanna learn more about it, I could do a video about that. Just let me know. So what basically happens is that the algorithm has a lot more parameters than back then. So you can't easily trick it to recommend your video. Next to that, it looks at different things. For example, a vlog video is completely different from what I'm making. And what you see now is that the people watching YouTube, mostly the younger ones, they're continuously watching vlogs. I don't know why. I cannot grasp it, but maybe I'm just getting old, and that's something that the younger generation likes to do. So it has also to do with that. So back then I got a lot of subscribers because my videos were recommended a lot. Back now, my top was probably in 2015, 2016, something like that, and after that it went a bit downward, and the last few years it went completely downward. I'm now at, I don't know, 15-20% of the views, and also the subscribers that I gain compared to back then in 2015 and 16. So, you know, if I would start a YouTube channel now with the same kind of videos, I wouldn't have that amount of subscribers. I'm convinced of that. So it all has to do with when did you start, what kind of videos did you make, and so on. So I can't give you an answer like you gotta do this and this to make to get a lot of subscribers. Just make sure that you ask your subscribers to subscribe. And but I'm not one that needs to advise you, because I'm very bad at this. So if you look at the amount of views I get compared to the amount of subscribers I gain, the percentage is very low. So I'm not the right person for you to advise how to get a lot of subscribers, because I suck at it, and I don't know how to improve it. But maybe it has to do, like what I said, these days the types of videos are different. So also people would subscribe in a different way than back then. That has to do with it, I believe. So no, I can't give you an answer on that. That's basically my answer. So let's go to the next question. Alright, question 4 is from Kapoen. He's from a Dutch Tweakers website, which is a technology website with a forum, and there's also a Lego topic, which I'm also part of. When did you start experimenting with the possibilities of the Lego train ecosystem? Yeah, well, I got my first Lego train, like I said, when I was 6 years old, but I just played with it. I didn't do anything special with it. I lived a few years in Italy after I finished my study, because I wanted to live a few years in the mountains, because I love being in the mountains, and you know, that's my passion. My biggest passion is mountaineering. And when I got back to the Netherlands, I needed a hobby, because when I was living in Italy, I was going to the mountains. That was my hobby. And when I got back to the Netherlands, no mountains here, so I needed something else. So I picked up my speed skating hobby again, which I was doing before I was going to Italy. And next to that, I was also picking up my Lego hobby again. Well, first I was messing a bit with just microcontrollers, Arduino, and then I got the idea of making a rover that rides around in a room. So I did that, and after that I got the idea to actually automate a Lego train system, and well, the result was the first video that I was talking about earlier, which was basically 2 loops, I believe, which had a few passenger trains stopping at a station, and there was also an automated crossing, I believe. So that was my first video, and that's when I started doing things with Lego trains, also because that video was watched pretty good, and I liked the subject as well. So the answer is 2011, 2012, something like that. That's when I started with the Lego train automation stuff. From Danny the Epic: will you do more first-person crashes? What first-person crashes? You mean that the camera is on the train or something like that? The answer is yes. I'm actually working right now on a Lego train T-Rex crash video, and if you want to know more about that, you can have a look at my work in progress channel, where I post now and then a video about the progress of this project. And it's a cool project. It's getting out of hand, obviously, like every project of mine, but that's no problem. It takes way longer than expected, of course. That is a bit of a problem, but it's a cool project. So head over to my work in progress channel after watching this video, of course, and see you there. So question 6 is from the Nether Brick Gamer. What is the yellow and blue train with the raised cab? Well, that's actually a Dutch train. It's called a koploper, and you see it a lot in the Netherlands. It's an inner city train, and I know it's been around since I was young, so at least 30 years or 40 maybe, I don't know. I think it's a very cool train design with the cab on top of it. And back in the day, the ends of the train, below the cab, there were 2 bay doors that could be opened, and when the 2 carriages were connected to each other, the bay doors would open so you could walk through them to another train carriage. They don't do it anymore because there was trouble, I believe, with the technical stuff with the cab doors that won't open, and I don't know what else. But nowadays these cab doors aren't there anymore, but it's still a good looking train, and that's why I bought it. There's a website which sells these kits. It's called blockbricks.nl, where you can buy these trains. So question 7 from Dave Ang is: are you married? No, I'm not. I have a girlfriend. We have 2 daughters of 1.5 and 3.5 years old, and we're living together, obviously. So I'm not married. That's quite a common thing in the Netherlands to have kids living together but not being married. We have a fiscal partnership, of course. But yeah, I know in other countries it's different, that you get married first and then you start with kids and I don't know what else. So, but here it's quite common to do it like this. And at this point, a marriage doesn't add a lot to our relationship. So I think we're gonna get married someday, but for now we're just fine like the way it is. So question 8 is from AlmightyArjen, who's also from the Tweakers forum. What is your dream of building what you haven't done yet? 2 things. First thing is a 90s layout, like I did with the 80s layout, but the 80s layout, which is probably the best video ever that I made, it doesn't perform very well. It's now back to, I don't know, 200 views a day, which is nothing compared to, you know, I was looking for a video to make millions of views once again, but somehow there's the YouTube algorithm again. It doesn't recommend my videos, and yeah, that has 2 sides. The first side is of course ad revenue. If you're doing a project like I did with the 80s, which cost several thousand euros, you want to see something in return, because you can't spend several thousand euros on just Lego Yeah, you can of course, but a normal person wouldn't do that. I have 2 kids, they want to go to college, you know, so I want to have some revenue in return, of course. If I didn't have any ad revenue from my channel, I wouldn't have this kind of project. You know, there's a balance between these two. And the second thing is, and probably also the most important thing, I like people to watch my videos and comment on my videos, what they think about it, and with that I can improve my work. And everyone, when you work on something for 1.5 years, you wonder what other people think about it. It's a normal thing. So if YouTube doesn't recommend my videos, because I'm sure that this 80s video, it will appeal to, I don't know, 1 million people at least, if not more. So, you know. So it's a bit disappointing to see that it doesn't perform, and that's what's holding me back for the 90s layout video as well. The other thing is, I want to do an airport like I did the big train station. But also here's the thing, I already started building a bit in the studio. I've now not much, just a luggage system. With a few conveyors, something like that. But if you look at the big picture, it will be around, I don't know, 50,000 parts, something like that. So it's gonna be huge. At least that's the idea. But again, here, I'm not sure if I can see it in return, in revenue wise, you know, because a project like that, it'll cost me, I don't know, 4,000 euros. And you know, I want to see something in return. Of course, it's a hobby, it can cost money, no problem, but there's a border, you know. You can't spend, I don't know, you can't spend hundreds of euros every month on Lego. At least I can't. So I'm coming back to that question later on, to this topic. So I'll leave it for now. I leave it with that. 90s layout and use airport. 2 things I want to do, but right now there are things holding me back for doing it. So question 9 is from Ender Warrior 679. I was wondering how you come up with these ideas for such awesome videos. Love the channel, and especially the huge City Central Station video. Thanks for making my day again. Well, that's nice to hear, thank you. I don't know how I come up with these ideas. It's just something that how do you call it? It's something that's creative, that's going in my. According to me, I'm not a very creative person. I'm really more. I'm an engineer. I'm a better person. You know, I don't have a lot of creativity according to me. But maybe on Lego and video stuff I have. I don't know. But it's something, I have an idea, and that's in my head, and it can stick in my head for like, I don't know, 2-3 months, and during the days, mostly also during workouts, I tend to think about my projects and what would be cool to do. And by doing so, an idea is forming in my head, and when that idea is there, if it's clear enough, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna make a project out of it. While I'm busy at it, it always turns out way bigger and more complex than I originally thought about. So you know, so I don't know how I come up with these ideas. They just pop up in my head, and I work on them in my head for a few months, and then I write them down on paper, actually on the computer, to actually have an idea about what I'm wanting to do. And based on that, I'm gonna tweak the idea to make it more appealing for making a video for it and stuff like that. So that's I don't know. So I think I have some creativity in that kind of field, but I can't give you an exact answer about this question. It's just they're popping up, and I think about it, and some nice ideas popping up in my head, and I write them down, and that's it. I do my thing. So question number 10 from Mean Carnivore. How are you doing after 2020? Well, 2020 was, well, it started already rough for me because I lost my dad just before Christmas 2019. He died of the consequences of ALS at 70 years old. And so I had a rough start last year. I miss him mostly also because he loved the grandchildren. He loved my children, my two daughters. And the first thing he said when he was diagnosed with ALS, he said, "I can't see Julia growing up. That's the oldest one. The youngest one wasn't there yet." And that hurts me the most. Fortunately, he got to know also our second daughter, but the thing that hurts me the most is the fact that he doesn't get to see them grow up, and they don't get to see their grandfather more than what they have seen now. You know, so 2020 was a rough start for me. Then the pandemic hit, and yeah, what should I say about it? We just have to go through this horrible period. You know, if you look at all the people dying and economic consequences, which are severely underestimated at this point by a lot of people, there's a shit storm coming. I'm gonna say that we're not there yet. So, but for me personally, if I look at my personal life, there are also some good sides on the pandemic, and that's I needed to work from home. And before that, I had to go to the client's office 2-3 days a week, which cost me 3 hours traveling time every day, which was also not time, which was my own time. I didn't get paid for that. So the plus side of that was that I could spend more time at home with my kids. And I recollect also the memories that also working at home, I could spend the kids during the summer in the garden, and we fooled around a bit, you know, and then I was going to work again. In that point of view, it was not as bad as for me as for some other people, of course, who didn't get to work, or the whole thing is that we just have to sit this one out, I believe. And a lot of people died, of course, and it's very sad. A lot of businesses going bankrupt, which is also a big issue. Like I said, a shitstorm is still coming, and we're not there yet. I believe we're, you know, when 2021 started, like a month ago, everyone was like, okay, we can leave 2020 behind, and 2021 we'll have the vaccine, and we're getting our lives back. Well, maybe I'm a bit of a pessimist, but I don't see it that way. Because what you already see right now is there are mutations of the virus, and those mutations will always be there, I believe. I believe it's going to be something like a flu virus, that every year it pops up again, and maybe we need to get vaccinated every year, because there are a lot of mutations going on. I believe that there's a big possibility that Corona never goes away. It's something that we have to deal with the rest of our lives, and the lives after our lives. So it's maybe I'm a bit pessimistic, but I believe that we're not there yet. And so asking me how was 2020, it was a bad year. For me personally, also because of the loss of my father, of course, but I think 2021 will not be the year of salvation. Like I said, we're now 1 month in 2021, and we're already seeing some mutations of the virus, and now they're wondering if the Brazilian virus mutation, if the vaccines work correctly against it, and you know, so it's gonna be a battle between new vaccines, new virus mutations for a long time, I believe. So 2021 will be a shitty year as well, I'm afraid. So, but how am I doing after 2020? Well, I'm glad it's over. I'm glad the Christmas has passed because of all the memories from last year. So new year, and let's hope that the vaccines will do their job, and we're gonna have our lives back. But I'll just have to see that. unfortunately. So question 11 from Aarjen, the second question, he's from the Twitch forum as well. Where do you get the time and money for such creations? I'm as old as you are and I have a comparable education like you have. I'm already happy when I can build something from the instructions. But I have 2 kids, maybe that's the difference. Well, I have 2 kids as well. The money thing is what I already said, was that I have ad revenue on my channel. Since I'm down in views like 80%, my ad revenue is also 70% down, something like that. So right now I spend more than I make, but that's not an issue because in 2015, 16, 17, I was making more than I spent. So, you know, so there's a balance there. I can use that money, but in the end that will dry up. And then when that happens, I don't know what I should do. Of course, I have a Patreon account where people can support me, but that's just small compared to the revenue from YouTube. So that's the money thing. The time thing is maybe because I don't spend a lot of time on social media. That's an important factor. I hear that people spend 2-3 hours a day on Instagram, and I'm just scrolling through my feed like 5 minutes every day, and that's it. So I get a lot of time from that. When the kids are asleep, at 7 o'clock I go upstairs and do my thing with the Legos. So I'm make sure that I use my time effectively, and I think I can win a lot of time there. Next to that, some days I have the Friday off and the kids are going to the daycare, and then I have a day for myself that I can work on my projects. Next to that, I'm also a bad sleeper, so I sleep. I have good nights that I sleep 8 hours, but I have a lot of nights that I sleep only like 5 hours. And when I can't sleep, I tend to also work a bit with my Lego stuff. So that's where some time is coming from as well. Question 12 from Two Brothers Gaming. How long did it take you to build the train station? Well, it took me 2 months to actually design it in LDD with 12 to 16 hours, something like that, maybe a bit more a week. And after, yeah, more, 24 hours a week, maybe a week, designing it in LDD. And after that, another 2 months, I believe, building it with also 24 hours a week. So more or less 240 hours designing it and 240 hours building it. So question 13 from Leo Noob. Why are you so obsessed with Legos? It's a hobby, and people tend to get obsessed with their hobby, and so do I. It's a bit of it. It gives me relaxation. I get a calm feeling about working with Lego. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So question 14 from Joaquin Mikkel Bavia Ralph. What is your favorite Lego train? Well, there's only one answer possible here, and that's the 7727 that I got when I got 6 years old. Like I said, it's it's the train with I played with it like hours and hours. So that's my favorite. If I skip that one, if I leave that one out, probably the Mask train or the Horizon Express I like as well. I don't like the Emerald Knight in particular. I don't know why, it just doesn't appeal to me. So a lot of people are asking me, why don't you have the Emerald Knight? It's because, I don't know, I don't like it very much. So I can't give you an exact answer of why I don't like it. It just doesn't appeal to me, that's it. So my favorite is the Mask or the BNSF train. Question 15 from Swiss Mapping. When did you get your first Lego set? I talked about that with the first or second question. It's a small police cars first I recollect, and I put a picture up with the set number because I can't remember it. Was 1983, I believe, something like that. Question 16 from Jake B. How does the stoplight work? Does it come with one of the train sets? I'm new into Lego trains. Well, welcome Jake B in the world of Lego trains. And no, it does not come with the set. I designed it myself. It runs on a Arduino, which is a microcontroller platform. And if you want to know more about this crossing automation, then you should check out the video that I put in the upper right corner right now, which is about how the rail crossing actually works, and it's explained in detail how you can build one yourself. So question 17 is from Lucas Oh No Pro. Where it's Dutch, I forgot to translate it. Where are the carriages from the 4512 coming from? MOC or set? No, those are actually just MOCs. It's pretty simple. You just get a carriage from the 7740 or the 7745, and you build one exactly in the colors of the 4512, and that's the result. So it's pretty simple, so you can build one yourself as well. Question 18 from Nexibel. How many sets of each train do you own? It's impressive how many there are. How many sets of each train? Do you mean how many copies or how many train sets in total? I don't have exact copies of trains. Of course there are some carriages that I have extra for passenger trains. But I don't have train sets twice, if that's what you mean. And the amount of train sets that I have is, I don't know, between 20 and 25, I believe, something like that. There are some trains missing in my collection, which a few are on purpose, like I said, the Emerald Knight. I'm not interested in that one. There's also a 9-volt train, the Alpen Express it's called. It's just hideous. I don't like it either, so that one is not coming in my collection either. So a few trains are missing, and a few trains I need to still buy. For example, the Swiss train, which was a creator set, I believe. I don't have it yet. I'd love to have one, so that's one still coming. So between 20 and 25, something like that. So question 19, which is the last question. Halo Spartan asked me, how do you do the stop motion thing in your videos? Well, what should I say? How do I do the stop motion thing? I don't think I'm the right person to ask, because I'm doing it differently than other people, which are way better than I am. The way I do it, I don't have a good photo camera for doing that. So I use my video camera for that. So I position my video camera in a certain way to get the shot, and then I make several shots with the minifix in several positions, and after that, there's just one long video that could be like 10 or 20 minutes long, something like that. I take that whole video and I'm taking screenshots out of every image, and I paste them together to get a stop motion sequence. Normally you're just shooting photos and using that in your stop motion sequence. So I'm not very good in stop motion. It's something that I do at the side, that I like to do to give some storyline to a video. But if you want to know more about it, you should check out YouTube about how to make stop motion. Have a look at Alexander Studios, for example. He's just very, very good. He's like the best, I believe, in doing stop motion with Lego. Compared to him, I'm totally nothing. I'm a nobody. Maybe I can do stuff with Lego trains, but stop motion, I'm not even close to his level of quality. So head over to his channel, have a look to his work. It's amazing. So I'm not going to give you advice about how to do stop motion, because I'm not the right person to ask, sorry. So this was the Q&A video. If you have any more questions, please let me know in the comments and I'll reply to that. Or let's do another Q&A video when we reach, I don't know, 200,000 subscribers. But with the rate that's going right now, it's gonna take, I don't know, 10 years to get there. So I want to thank you for watching this video. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and I hope to see you next time with my projects. Bye!